Hi, I'm Ben Lepper, administrator here at Intersection Ministries, and I want to take a moment and welcome you all to our midweek devotion. I hope you're all having a enjoyable week so far. Everybody's remembering to wear their face masks or otherwise face coverings when going out into public. Now I want to take a moment and just invite us into a moment of reflection, to reflect on what God may be prompting us into today. The text for our devotional today is from Paul in Romans chapter 8, verse 5. He says, "For those who live according to the flesh set their minds on the things of the flesh, but those who live according to the Spirit set their minds on the things of the Spirit." A phenomenal text to reflect on today. In the day in and day out activities that we do, it's easy to become consumed with thoughts of physical and immediate pleasure. The allure of luxury comfort supports entire industries as well as absorbs considerable personal resources. Living in the pursuit of luxury, as we may think, sets our minds on the flesh. And it is this pursuit of pleasure that sets the terms for our minds when we have them set on the flesh. Interestingly enough, contrasting this, living in rejection of the flesh is also still to be under its control. If my mind is either on indulging the flesh or completely controlling the flesh through self-discipline, it is still the flesh on which my mind is set. I'm not living in a way that considers the Holy Spirit. Sometimes we may hear this verse from Paul and come away with a vague notion that we should maybe be thinking about more spiritual things. Something along the lines of, well, I should pray some more, try to think about the supernatural realities of God. And this way of thinking, while not wrong, poses a risk of detaching us from our very physical lives. Because reality is that God created us to be natural beings to work in concert with the Holy Spirit in our natural settings. He did not create us to use the Spirit as a form of escapism, to escape away from the flesh. God could have created more angels if he wanted more spiritual beings, but he didn't. He created human beings. He then charged these very real humans, made of flesh and bone, to care for his very real creation, made of physical matter. The caveat is that he created us to carry out his will, which is higher than our fleshly limitations. In other words, we are to set our minds on the ways of God as to continue to work in and with our physical limitations. We are the hands and feet of Christ. And just as the hands and feet of the body are controlled by the mind, the hands and feet of Christ are controlled by Christ. The distinguishing element here is that we must connect to the mind of Christ with our minds. A mind that is set on the things of the Spirit is connected with Christ, and a mind connected with Christ is in the position to move his hands and feet. So, thoughts that we can be considering as we go forth today. In what ways might self-indulgence cause me to miss the mind of Christ? In what ways might my efforts of self-discipline cause me to miss the mind of Christ? And what might it look like to have my mind set on the things of the Holy Spirit while having my feet firmly planted on the ground? So with this, I want to leave you with some encouragement today, that the Lord is on your side. Pain you may feel in your life is also felt by Christ, and Christ is feeling with you. He will never forsake you. He will never give up on you and never leave you. So this day, as you go about your business, be blessed. And if you go out in public, please help your neighbor and remember to wear a face covering. God bless.